Hey, what's going on, my friends? This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And today we have another episode for you, another guest, and we're going to be talking to Amy. And as you can see, we're going to be talking about mindset. We're going to be talking about really some keys to your success, especially if you're brand new. So tune in, listen up, and let's get Friday rocking. Amy, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Where are you calling in from?
I am calling from Connecticut.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about how a lady from Connecticut comes online, finds this crazy community of legendary marketer and affiliate marketing, and how you got started.
Saw someone making money online, starting an online business. She had a video of a little snippet of legendary marketer, but wasn't promoting it at the time really on her link. So I couldn't find it. So I was probably the only one in the world who actually Googled legendary marketer.
Wow. Probably not, but you'd be surprised. But you know, okay,
It's website, like immediately. I went back through all her videos. I didn't even think twice. I was like, $7. I need to see what this is about. What else do I have on in my life?
I mean, you may have been the one customer that, worked that hard to actually go by. You say that she didn't actually have a link, or you couldn't get to the challenge sales page.
So she was promoting something else at the time. She was already maybe like 9 months into her journey. I went back in all her videos.
Okay. Wow.
I wasn't promoting it. And I'm like, well, how do I find out this legendary marketer she's talking about from when she first started on day one?
Yeah.
And so I Googled it. I was like, oh, there it is. And then I just immediately bought it. And I was hooked on day one.
Wow. Okay.
For someone who basically was completely foreign to me. Didn't know the first thing about an online, had no idea what I was getting into. That's for sure.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
So, yeah, I had a Facebook page, post little cute pictures of my kids, but that's about it.
So you're an assistant to the mayor of the town that you live in, is that right?
I am. And I'm also like director of HR. So nobody knows about this really right now, except for my husband and my two kids that are now 21 years old. They're twins.
Yeah. Wow.
And
are you going to show them this interview?
I'm gonna. Oh yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah.
Definitely. They need to see mom rocking it out. You know what I mean? Out here.
We're actually on vacation in Aruba. But they're back today. But they do know what I'm kind of doing. I've been talking to them about it, but I didn't really tell my husband. I told him I was taking the course and I was really excited about it. And I was like hooked. Didn't know what I was getting into yet. But then I started creating my TikTok and posting for like a month before I even told him I was doing it.
Wow.
And I showed him everything. And he's like, I can't believe you're doing this. He's like, it's like totally opposite of you. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh. So I'm like, and I don't want anyone to know because they're going to think I lost my mind.
You think so?
No, because everyone knows I haven't lost my mind, but
I mean, in this world, who can judge who for losing their mind, really? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what it was. I just didn't want the pressure of people asking me all these questions.
No, I totally get it.
I
totally get it. Yeah.
You're
working with real like professionals, like, over here, we're just, we're just a bunch of, this is the Sandlot. You know what I mean? Over here.
Great. I love it. I was like, it's amazing community. I couldn't get enough of it, but I have to say that I was completely scared. Like on day 3, when I had to set up a meeting with my business, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm going to do. I have no clue. Probably was looking at me like, this girl's not going anywhere.
And what happened? I mean, was that fear? Was that?
I didn't want to even schedule the meeting.
You didn't?
So afraid. I was like, oh, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to do this 15-day challenge, see what it's about, and then I'll think about scheduling a meeting. I'm like, well, I can't go any further. I have to do this. So I just did it. I'm like, well, this is stupid. Just do it.
Yeah.
And I did. And I've been doing it ever since. Just like when I got the invite to the show, I was like, oh, I'm not ready for that. I'm like, I can't. And then I was like, I've been doing this for the last 5 months. I'm just going to keep doing things I don't think I should be doing.
Right. Yeah, that's powerful and that's great. I mean, how many people do you think, as a percentage of everybody who comes through, we had 100,000 people take our challenge last year. How many folks do you think have those same feelings at those same exact places, and then give in to those feelings and then never move forward? And it's not to disrespect that person as if they're not good enough, they're less than or whatever. It's just that you believed that belief, and then you didn't go any further, and that person probably went to something else, and quite possibly had that same soundtrack come up and play in just a different scenario. But you chose to walk through it and begin to try to find a new soundtrack to play in
Mhm.
some of these challenging moments.
Exactly, exactly. And I think I've heard a lot of people say that people who have purchased it, I could even see people who have purchased it through me and they don't go beyond those first couple days, and probably because they don't want to set up that meeting. They're afraid or they don't know what they're doing, or I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, it's kind of like one of those things that I've talked about a million times, and you will eventually too. At the longer you stay in this industry and can look at actual statistics. See, one thing we do for our affiliates is give them statistics that drive them crazy. And sometimes I'd like to take those away. But why? Because it's all about understanding and learning what people's habits and behaviors really are. And when you get into marketing and you're analyzing how people behave and how they say they want to do something and then don't see, there's a difference between just saying, I see an ad or I hear about something and I just say, nah, and I keep going. But it's when I say, oh yeah, I want to do that. And then I sign up and then I get all excited and then I say, yeah, I'm all in. And then, I get to day 3 and an uncomfortable moment happens. And then I decide that I just want to kind of give up on it all.
Oh yeah.
Um, and I think that's a pretty common thing, even for entrepreneurs, because when we're new, there's just all kinds of different flavors of imposter syndrome. But what
Mhm.
was it like for you after having that conversation, after making these videos? I mean, do you feel like a bigger, more powerful version of yourself? And I don't mean that in a dominating way. I mean that just in a confident way. Or just tell us a little bit about the transformation that's happened within you, relating to these challenging things.
Yeah, absolutely. It has completely changed my life. It's completely changed the way I look at business, my goals. I even find myself speaking differently when I talk to people. It's just kind of,
How so? Could you
now,
give us an example?
I think a lot is mindset for me. I think your mind has to be in the right place to be able to accept all of the information. I mean, it's completely out of anything I've ever done before. I've never
Mhm.
sold anything. People have tried to recruit me for MLMs and selling, things over the years that people love and use all the time and would be not that difficult. But that was just not me.
Mhm.
So for me to start doing this is just completely out of something I would do. I didn't even
Yeah.
consider, but I just was hooked with just the community and I don't know, just the positive mindset and vibes from everybody, all trying to, create a common goal, kind of have a purpose in life, what you want to be known for, those kinds of things.
Mhm.
And I was just hooked. I'm like, I don't think I could ever quit. And once you got into like a certain point, there was no turning back because
Yeah.
it's part of my life now. It's part
It's
of my life.
interesting.
And
I know
I spent
you're
so much time on it. And my husband's like, he's like, that's great. I'm so excited that you have something that you love. So I want to bring him in on it, but not yet.
yeah. Yeah, wow, I'm so happy for you, Amy, that you are feeling
Yeah.
so, passionate and happy about
Yeah.
this. Really, I am. I know what that's like to feel, to be in search of something and then feel like, oh wow,
Yeah.
I'm addicted to this
Yeah.
in a positive way,
Yes.
not in a negative way. I'm addicted to this. I want to grow. I want to improve, and
Mhm.
it sounds like it's more than just the money for you. I mean, money is certainly ultimately a goal and a big goal, but it's more than just money for you. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't even think about the money. I mean, the money's nice, it's exciting, that kind of thing. But it's really more about the community and actually just making yourself think about um, just your vision, your purpose in life. Helping others. Um, introducing them to the same thing that you found. It's just, I just love everything about it. It's just like a complete transformation. So it's just amazing that a $7 course has brought me into this whole world. And I've met so many people. I have so many connections, and everyone supports each other. And when you find something, you can share it with them.
Mhm.
It's great.
You feel that this community of people, entrepreneurs, online marketers in their mindset is different than the mindset of the people that you've hung out around and worked with before. And it's not to bash them or badmouth them, not one's better than the other, but just different. And in what way do you like that it's different? Or are you experiencing something different from this group of people that you feel like has been missing or you didn't even know that you wanted?
Well, I've always had a positive mindset, and I have no patience for people that are negative and always looking for the bad in everything. I always look for the good in everything. Um,
Mhm.
that's just my personality. So when someone just complains and complains, I'm like, but you have so much good in your life. What about this? What about that? It just drives me crazy. I have no patience for it. That's just my own self.
Yeah. Okay.
So just to find people that are mostly positive all the time is just, it's just great. And I don't know, I can't explain it. It's just completely changed my life, and I want to share it with everyone I could possibly share it with. So thank you so much for creating this amazing $7 course, as like an introduction into any online business, basically. And it really can roll over to any business. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
a business, I think. Um, so it just opened me up to a whole new world.
Yeah. No, I think it can. I mean, mindset stuff and how you develop your different habits here, I mean, becoming more disciplined, but not because somebody's screaming at you or yelling at you or whatever. Like, and I'm just thinking about some of the institutions and so forth that might help us to become disciplined, like the military or prison. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I mean, those
Yep.
those two things are two places that you go and you're at least going to get on a routine. um and with entrepreneurship, I experience a lot of people, not that people in prison or the military don't want to get better, improve, grow, whatever, but people here, are doing it out of their own free will. They're doing it out of, and not in the military. I shouldn't compare those two. Those are not the same in any way, shape, or form. But you know, it takes a lot to get up on your own every day and open your computer, you know what I mean? And actually do it day in and day out. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of discipline and commitment. And you have to have a positive attitude. I
Mhm.
mean, that you just it is almost impossible to do this and constantly be seeing the glass half full ever or the glass half empty every day. And so yeah, no, I totally relate. And what how have you taken some of the connections and some of the networking, some of the community to more levels than just interacting or participated in Facebook groups? Have you had, you know messaged people and gotten accountability partners? Have you I mean, in what other ways has the community manifested and supported you?
I do have a mentor currently, who's kind of, has a group, Facebook. So mostly Facebook groups is where I've kind of found a lot of extra help with making kind of all of the everything connect. Recently had kind of like that light bulb moment where like, oh my God, this all makes sense now. Because there's so much to learn and you're constantly learning something every day,
Hmm.
something new. I'm, trying to learn new skills every day.
Yeah.
I don't know everything, and I obviously am never going to know everything. Um, in life, you learn
Yeah.
something every day as you go along. So you think you know everything when you're young, and then you're like, I know nothing.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, when I first started, I really went to extremes because I didn't want people to find me at first because of my job. My phone is filled with contacts, hundreds of employees. I couldn't have everyone finding me at the beginning. So I really went to extremes, got my own separate phone,
Mm.
made an account that kind of people couldn't just search and find me. So I kind of went to extremes, but I think it was necessary for myself at the time. Now I don't think that
You
I
were
would.
having an entrepreneurial affair, you know?
Yeah, I was like, I can't tell anybody what I'm doing right now because
Going and getting new phones and stuff. I mean,
I
geez Louise.
need 100 employees, that I have really close contact with all the time. Just,
You don't want to accidentally post that TikTok video and then accidentally hit share to all your contacts, and sends them a text message with a
so I
link to your
had,
TikTok video where you're like e-com, drop shipping, and you know,
yeah, I had a little
you're
professional.
like, oh shit, Amy's twerking on TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I went,
to me, it's just hilarious. I mean, marketing in where this world is going, people, you better lighten the fuck
hmm,
up because this
absolutely.
world is going to some places where if you can't believe some crazy stuff is possible, then you are going to be left behind
Hmm.
because there are people now that are making more money on NFT and metaverse real estate than they are in regular real estate. There's people who are getting rich on vaporized coins that aren't actually coins that don't exist. There are, 11 million people who quit their jobs last month, either 11 million unfilled jobs or 11 million people quit their jobs. I can't remember, but I was reading the jobs report and it's like they are escaping the rat race. They are leaving. And I had a guy, actually a neighbor. He said, Dave, and they're halfway, between believing that I'm sell drugs, that I'm some drug kingpin because I'm always wearing flip-flops and tank tops, and yet I look like we might be, have some money. Um, but he came up to me and he said, "Hey, aren't you in the internet, world? Do you have anybody you could recommend for this secret project that I want to do? It's, I got an invention, a secret pro." And I said, "Dude, look," I said, "I could recommend somebody, but you could just go to Upwork, or you could just go to Freelancer, and you could tap into an entire world of developers." And he, honked. I'm getting out of my car yesterday. He's honking. Dave, thanks. I found my developer. I mean, come on. We're talking about he probably dedicated an hour or two. He said he
Yeah.
found somebody across the ocean, over in Europe or something. And just think about that one process of how life is different, how the internet has changed things, how technology has changed things. And I think it was Matt, our CMO, I can't remember who it was, maybe it was somebody else, but they said, "Look, you know, I know you guys are the old farts right now about the metaverse thing, because we don't want, like, I don't want to live in a metaverse. I want to live in reality. Okay. But see, I'm the old fart now. Do you see that? Do you see that? I'm the guy with the flip phone. You know what I mean? And it's like, if we have to work really hard at keeping up with what's going on in the world, folks, because that whole boomer generation that was fumbling around with the flip phone and could never really learn, you know, folks, you know who you are, or who your parents or aunts or uncles are, that it's this big deal to just learn how to use a phone. But guys, everything's changing. I mean, if you don't learn technology, you're not going to be able to set up your TV, work on a computer. You know, you're not going to be able to connect with your friends. I mean, you may not be able to attend meetings, even get a job. So, I mean, the truth is that the crazy ones, the ones who are out doing different things, new things, weird things, selling, I don't give a damn about NFTs, and I'm not even into crypto. It's too much. I can't keep track of it. It's not that I don't like it,
Yep.
but I can't keep track of it. But the people who are doing it are smart for doing it, because it is where things are going. That it's obvious that people are moving in that direction. Maybe it's a phase, but the metaverse, iPhones, you know, virtual reality, augmented reality, holograms of people doing events and they're not even there, but you're in a room with 10,000 people and Tony Robbins is up on a stage in a hologram. I mean, where life is going is just, we think Star Trek and the Jetsons was far out. I mean, we have no idea.
Yep.
So it's ironic that the people who are on the cutting edge today, we feel like the stupid ones. We feel like the ones who we don't want anybody to know what we're doing. And it's just, I find that ironic.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I know. It's true. It's true. At this point, I don't really care. I mean, I haven't shared it with people, but if they find me, they find me. It's fine. I'm not really worried about it.
It's just a different way to think for all of you listening who are battling this, you know, this imposter syndrome, whatever your own version is. And you really, if you shift your perspective, and again, reframing is the my favorite strategy. Why? Because I can take any scenario and turn it into a positive, just like you said, Amy. Is all I'm doing it. I'm taking this situation, I'm putting it in a different frame. And when I take a picture and I put it in a different frame, it looks different. You know, I get a different perspective. And the perspective that I would offer all of you listening this morning who are, you know, battling your own imposter syndrome is just remember what I said a second ago. Mark my words. It's already happening. It's already happening. I mean, there's people who are making more money online right now, and people who have never actually in this community alone, Amy.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing this for 11 years, roughly since about 2009, and longer, I guess. I don't know. I've lost track at this point. I got clean in 2008, started messing around in 2009, 2010, I guess. But I have never seen more people succeed than I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I do love to take credit for as much of that as I mean, sure. Yeah. But that wouldn't be right, because what's happened is also the platforms have made it easier for people to get on and get started and participate in the platforms. They've become easier. You know, when you first wanted to, say, I don't know, you know, when you first wanted to work on your house many years ago, it was almost impossible because you couldn't just go to Home Depot and buy all these DIY products. But now you can. You can just go right down to the store and you can just kind of remodel your house on your own. And the same sort of thing has happened with the internet, I think, is that, you know, all these tools and platforms have all become usable and accessible and easy enough for everybody to use. Now, to post a video online, folks, You don't have to have a camera, set it up, put it in editing software, then upload it onto YouTube, then this, then that. No, you just hold your cell phone up, boom, 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 and you're on TikTok. And an hour later, it's been seen by, 10,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
There is never, and it's only going to get faster, and the opportunity is going to get bigger, and platforms are going to be built in a way for us to continue to do this. So I'm ranting, but I'm telling you that, well, you're the smart one. You're the smart one. You're the smart one. If you're exploring, and whether you plant your flag with information marketing, affiliate marketing, you learn here at Legendary, whether you all go and do it somewhere else, doesn't matter to me. It's just the spirit of exploration and the spirit of being open to the idea that what you've been believing in the life that we've been living for the past 20 or 30 years, it's not the way it is anymore. It's changed. I'm ranting, but every day, Amy, it's a battle for me to convince people to face themselves, and that's why I love the conversation and why we talk about this so much, is because the defining moment is not really when you buy. The defining moment is when you're about to quit and you decide not to.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, there's been days when I'm like, oh God, what am I doing? It's just it is work. You have to learn the skills, you have to put in the work, you have to be consistent, and you have to stay committed. You have to stay committed and be positive. Be positive and believe in yourself. Believe in yourself that anyone could do it. We all
Yeah.
come from different backgrounds, different experiences, and all of that adds up to being your authentic self, and being successful. And we all can do it. We all have it in us. We just have to commit to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it completely changed my life. Thank you. Thank you for creating Legendary Marketer, the 15-day business builder challenge, because I think everyone I've run into is just so happy they found it. Yeah,
Mm.
it's transforming. It really is.
Well, it's really wonderful to hear, and thank you for
Yeah.
taking it seriously
Yeah.
and completing it, and now even loving it so much that you've decided you want to share it with others. We appreciate that. And it's not a requirement, or I mean, being an affiliate here at Legendary, even though we teach affiliate marketing, is not a requirement. I mean, we're honored and appreciative, and all of those things that people. As a matter of fact, at one time, Amy, I think we put it back now, where somebody can apply just to refer a friend or become an affiliate on the 15th day of the challenge. But we actually took away that on that 15th day at one time, because we were getting too many affiliate applications, and we didn't want to accept affiliates for a certain period of time, or we were wanting to make it more difficult to apply or something. But we just appreciate that people want to turn around and share the training with people that they can find. And it's not something that we count on or anticipate you doing. So we appreciate it when you do that. And hopefully, do you, let me ask you, have any plans of you know doing any other information marketing? I mean, do you have goals in the future of doing any courses or coaching or events, or just you give us a snapshot into some of the other ideas that have been percolating in your head, and then I'll let you go get back to your vacation.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I do plan working on building my brand right now, expanding a little to other platforms, to promote on other platforms. And I'm just learning as I go along. Like I said, I started from zero, started from knowing nothing. And I
Mm,
know so much now that I'm amazed how far, I've come.
yeah.
But you have to put in the work, you really do. And just learn something new every day. And I think that's just really important. Recently, I had someone comment on one of my videos, basically saying, well, we'll see where you are in a year. And I was like, okay. I'm like, you have a deal. I'm like, I'm still going to be here because you don't know me.
Right.
I, I,
I'll be here and you won't.
I here. And so I screenshot it. I make sure I save that video so I know exactly where to find them, on January 3rd next year.
Those are the kind of things that you hang up.
Yeah. And
Things
he
you
was
hang
really
up.
funny. It wasn't a hate. It wasn't a hate or anything. He was just like, okay, it's a deal. I'll see you
Yeah.
in 1 year. So I'm like, oh, you will.
When I started, there was quite a few people who, were around and I was kind of running with, or who started at the same time. It's almost like your class. And, it's interesting. Like most things, many are not around, and it's not because they didn't have the potential. I mean, I even know people who were crushing it, who just stopped. And I see this all the time. This is a totally different conversation, totally different episode of just how we get to certain places of success, and then we stop. We sabotage because we want more. We want to do more, but we stop doing what was working, only to try to do something bigger, and it's sabotage. And now we've got double the work and blah blah blah. But um it's interesting. The people who I started with are mostly not still around. There are, however, quite a few who are. And you know and I keep my eyes on those people. I keep my eye. It's very, very. You brought up something that I just want to just say something to, before we end here, as I look at some little ant or bug on my desk that decided to die there. And okay. So folks, you can get any message from any person that you want if you look hard enough for it. And you can always find, and you all know exactly, I want you to listen very closely to this. You all know who you can call and who will co-sign your BS. You know who to watch if you don't want to be motivated. You know who to connect with if you want to commiserate. But I'm telling you that it is so important to keep your eyes locked and loaded on people who, as Amy, you just said, they're going to be around in a year. And because the people that we watch and the examples that we have, man, I don't care how old you are, we're like little children, we're sponges, and we watch what people do. In the second that somebody gives up around me, it affects me. It makes me start doubting myself. And so it's just important to keep our eyes locked on people who are in. We know we're going to be here in a year. I think it's just simple to put it like that. And Amy, I'm glad to know that you're going to be one of them.
Yeah, that's true. There's a few people too that I was following, and now they're gone. That I was following, and they just disappeared. Don't know where they went, and it's true. And then it's like, where'd you go?
Well, when you run your business like a hobby, I mean, everybody has to think of themselves nowadays as a media company, really. I mean, because we're a media marketing company. And yeah, it's like people will be going good and then they won't post for 2 months, right? It's just,
Yeah.
there's a I always ask people to ask themselves, would you hire you? If you had to hire you as the one employee and it cost you $1,000 a week, would you keep you on payroll? And I'd say the faces in most rooms when I ask that question are I don't, probably not. And so if I wouldn't hire me, then it's kind of like the guy who thinks that, well, I'm doing a shitty job at my job because I hate my job, so I'm gonna leave and go start my own thing and crush it there. And then they don't, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So
Yep.
we,
True. I put 100% into my job. I love my job. I love my job. I don't want to leave my job necessarily, but I do want to retire in the next 10 years. So that was part of my why at the beginning. And my husband, I would love to retire him. He owns his own business. He is a contractor, and I would love to retire him.
Yeah.
And maybe have a little freedom location, being able to go somewhere warm in the winter.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you're right. I would definitely hire myself, because not only do I do my full-time job, but I also do the financials and the billing for his business. And I
Yeah.
also am doing my online business. So I have full days.
And that's what I have gotten to the point to as well in my career. And at the beginning, I second guessed myself, but it didn't take me long to realize that I had work ethic.
Mhm.
You know, in this business, being in business taught me a lot about myself. You know, it just introduced me to myself. It taught me how motivated I was, how big my work ethic was, you know, how much I could deal with difficult situations, how much I could make connections. You know, it was a mirror, it was a gauge, it was a scoring system. However you want to look at it, for me in all these different areas of how I could communicate, how I could organize myself and stay disciplined and do it every day. And, I don't know. It's skills that we didn't learn in school. I didn't anyways. And so, it takes a village. We have a village here to help you grow into the entrepreneur you want to be, if that's what you want to do. And so, Amy, thanks for spelling that out so eloquently for us this morning. We've shared your TikTok link for people to go and follow you and connect with you. And the final word goes to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited about the future and the next 6 months. Um, it's just amazing opportunity. So if someone's on the fence and they're not sure if they should take the step, they should definitely take the step. It's transforming. It really is, and that's what you want, for everyone who's looking, to change their lives, do something different.
Yeah. Yeah, you want it to actually be able to transform their lives, and
Yeah.
we see that day in and day out. And I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it. But I get to see it every day this morning on the show. You can ask anybody in this community. The transparency of just, hey, look, it's not a cakewalk, but there's a ton of upside and it's well worth it, is really legit here. You're gonna see that and find that and not be BS'd about it. It is gonna take work, but it'll be worth it. Amy, enjoy your vacation.
And thank you so much.
All right. Come back and see us in a few months
All
and keep us
right.
posted. All right. All right. See ya.
Bye bye.
All right, my friends, you can go and follow Amy at ABMKTG. And if you spell that out, it's short for AB marketing. ABMKTG is her TikTok handle. Again, ABMKTG. Well, another week in the bag, folks. Another week. Our lives are just passing us by. The clock don't stop for nobody, as my dad says. My friends, make the most of the day. Make the most of this, final day of the week, right? And also as this first quarter is coming to a close. Isn't that amazing? Like I said, again, the clock don't stop. Make your move now. Seize the day. Be legendary. See you on Monday.